What is better, business or investment? Imagine this. Two friends start their journey toward financial freedom. One decides to build a business from scratch. Long nights, risks, uncertainty. The other chooses to invest, quietly putting money into assets and waiting for them to grow. 10 years later, one is exhausted but wealthy. The other is calm, financially secure, and still has time for life. So which path is actually better? Most people believe you must choose one side. Either you become an entrepreneur or you become an investor. But the truth is far more interesting and far more powerful. Let me tell you a story. At 25, Alex had almost nothing. A small savings account, a regular job, and big dreams. He constantly watched videos about billionaires and successful founders. Everywhere he looked, people said the same thing. Start a business. That's how real money is made. So Alex tried. His first business failed in 6 months. The second survived for a year, but barely made profit. The third finally worked. After years of stress, sleepless nights, and learning painful lessons, Alex built a company that generated serious income. But something strange happened. Despite earning more money than ever before, Alex still felt financially fragile. If his business stopped tomorrow, his income would disappear instantly. Then he met Daniel. Daniel wasn't flashy. He didn't work 16 hours a day. He didn't talk about startups or billion-dollar ideas. But Daniel owned something extremely powerful: assets, stocks, index funds, real estate shares. Slowly, quietly, his money had been growing for years. While Alex was fighting to grow his business, Daniel's investments were growing in the background. This is the first big truth about money. Business creates income. Investments create freedom. A business can make you rich fast, but it also demands your time, energy, and constant attention. It's like building a powerful engine that runs only when you keep feeding it fuel. Investing works differently. It's slower, sometimes boring, but it creates systems that work even when you sleep. Think of it like planting trees. Business is like planting a tree and watering it every single day. If you stop, the tree stops growing. Investments are like planting a forest. Over time, the trees grow by themselves. But here's where most people get confused. They ask, which one should I choose? That's the wrong question. The real question is, which one should come first? Because the wealthiest people in the world almost always follow the same path. First, they build income. Then, they convert that income into assets. Entrepreneurs start businesses that generate cash flow. Then, they invest profits into stocks, real estate, or other assets that produce passive income. Investors who start with a job often increase their income skills first before investing more aggressively. In other words, business and investing are not enemies. They are partners. Think of business as the engine and investing as the fuel tank that keeps your life running long after the engine slows down. But there is another important psychological factor most people ignore: risk tolerance. Some people love uncertainty. They enjoy building things, solving problems, leading teams. These people often thrive in business. Others prefer stability. They like systems, patience, and predictable growth. These people often succeed in investing. Neither personality is better. The real mistake is trying to copy someone else's path. Social media loves to glorify entrepreneurship. Hustle culture tells you that if you're not building a startup, you're falling behind. But history tells a different story. Many millionaires never started companies. They simply invested consistently for decades. So the real power move is understanding yourself. Are you someone who wants to create value through ideas and leadership? or someone who prefers letting capital grow quietly over time? Because when you understand this, you stop chasing trends and start building a strategy that actually works for you. And here's the secret most people discover too late. The fastest path to wealth is often a combination of both. Build income like an entrepreneur. Grow wealth like an investor. That's how financial freedom is truly created. But before you jump into either path, there are 3 critical principles you must understand. Let's continue. Before choosing between business and investing, you must understand 3 critical principles that determine whether you will build wealth or stay financially stuck. Principle number 1. Cash flow is king. Without income, investing is impossible. Many people want to skip the hard part. They dream about passive income while their bank account is almost empty. But investing without money is like trying to grow a forest without seeds. That's why your first financial mission is simple. Increase your ability to generate income. This can come from a job, freelancing, a side hustle, or a business. The exact method doesn't matter at the beginning. What matters is learning valuable skills that increase your earning power, because every extra dollar you earn can become a future asset. Principle number 2. Consistency beats brilliance. People often believe that successful investors are geniuses who can predict the market. But the truth is much simpler. The majority of long-term wealth comes from consistent investing over many years, not from perfect timing. Imagine 2 people. One waits for the perfect moment to invest. He spends years analyzing markets, reading news, predicting crashes. The second person simply invests a portion of income every month, quietly, consistently, without drama. 10 or 20 years later, the second person usually wins. Why? Because wealth loves time. Time allows compound growth to work its magic. Small investments slowly turn into large portfolios. And this is the secret power most people underestimate: compound interest. Albert Einstein supposedly called it the 8th wonder of the world. Whether the quote is real or not, the principle is undeniable. Money that earns money begins to grow exponentially. At first, the progress seems slow, almost invisible. But after enough years, growth becomes powerful. That's why starting early, even with small amounts, can be life-changing. Principle number 3. Separate your lifestyle from your income. This is where many entrepreneurs fail. Their business grows, their income increases, and immediately their lifestyle grows too. Bigger house, expensive car, luxury habits. The result? Despite high income, they never build real wealth. True wealth is built when income grows faster than lifestyle. And the difference between those 2 numbers becomes investments. Think about it like this. Income buys comfort. Assets buy freedom. Comfort feels good today. Freedom protects your entire future. Now let's return to our 2 friends. Alex eventually realized something important. His business was powerful, but it was only step 1. So he began investing part of his profits every single month. At first, the investments seemed small compared to his business revenue, but over time, they began to grow. 5 years later, something amazing happened. Alex no longer depended completely on his company. His investments were producing income too. The stress started to disappear. The fear of losing everything slowly faded, because he had finally built what every financially free person needs: multiple sources of income. This is the ultimate financial strategy. Build income. Control your lifestyle. Invest the difference. Repeat for years. It sounds simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. It requires patience, discipline, and long-term thinking in a world obsessed with quick success. But here's the encouraging truth. You don't need a billion-dollar startup. You don't need to predict the stock market. You only need a system that works consistently over time. Business can accelerate your income. Investing can protect and multiply your wealth. And together, they create financial freedom. So the next time someone asks you, "What's better, business or investing?" you'll know the real answer. The smartest people use both. If this video helped you understand money in a new way, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Because here, we break down the psychology of wealth, financial discipline, and the strategies that can change your financial future. And remember, your financial freedom doesn't start with millions. It starts with the first smart decision you make today.